In this section, let's look into how to do parallel execution with robot framework. The major requirement of any automation framework would be execution time has to be as low as possible. In current scenarios, automation frameworks are integrated with DevOps pipeline and all, so the deployment depends on the execution time of automation framework. Also, the developers and the business will want test reports as soon as possible after a code is deployed, so the execution time has to be reduced. There are multiple ways to reduce the execution time, starting with following a proper code practice. Even the execution time is determined by the application status. If the application is very slow, the execution time will increase. Even the environment stability will affect the execution time of automation framework. One of the major area where we can improve the performance of automation framework, that is reduce the execution time, is by performing parallel execution of test cases. Simultaneously, multiple test cases will be executed, so the whole automation execution time will be reduced. For example, if 100 test cases are taking 1 hour to execute, by doing a parallel execution of two processes, that is, two test cases will be executed at the same time, we can reduce it to half the time, 30 minutes. Let's see how to do parallel execution with robot framework. For robot framework, there is a third-party library that is available to do parallel execution, that is called Pabot library. As it is a third-party library, we need to first install the library. It is developed by some external developers, so first you have to install this library. The command to install Pabot library is pip install robot framework Pabot. That is the library name, robot framework Pabot. First you have to install the library. This is the PYPA page for robot framework Pabot library. As we have already seen, you have to give the command in command prompt and you can install the library. Now I have given pip list and you can see the robot framework Pabot library is installed in my system. Okay, once you install this library, you can do the parallel execution with robot framework. Now, before executing the parallel execution, there are few things you have to understand. In robot framework, as we have already mentioned multiple times, the test cases are arranged in test suite. One project can have multiple test suites as well. Each test suite will have n number of test cases. For example, let's take we have suite 1 and suite 2. Each suite has 4 test cases, test case 1, 2, 3, 4, and the next suite has 5, 6, 7, 8. Now with Pabot library, you can perform parallel execution either on suite level or test level. You can find the information on the pabot.org page as well. So either you can perform it on the suite level or on the test level. Before that, you have to understand one more concept, that is number of process. There is an argument called process, so you can specify how many test cases to be executed parallelly. For example, if you are specifying process as 2, then 2 test cases will be executed parallelly. If you are specifying it as 4, then 4 test cases will be executed parallelly. But the number of process, if you are giving high, then your CPU capacity has to be high, then only it will execute fast, or else doing a multiple process with a less number of regular CPUs will however affect the performance. Okay, now suite level. If you are doing a parallel execution on suite level, and if you have given 2 process, that is 2 test cases if you want to execute parallelly, then suite level parallel execution will do 1 test case from each suite. For example, in this case, test case 1 and test case 5 will be executed parallelly because these 2 suites are executed parallelly. So 1 test case from each suite will be taken for each process. Process 1 will execute 1, 2, 3, 4 sequentially. Process 2 will execute 5, 6, 7, 8 sequentially. That is, 1 test case from each suite will go parallelly. Now, if you are doing test level split, that is, if you want to parallelly execute any test case that is not dependent on the suite, then you will be using test level split, which will do test case 1 and 2 parallelly, 3 and 4 parallelly, and it will go on. So it doesn't depend on which suite the test case is in. Even the test cases from same suite or different suite, 2 test cases will be executed parallelly. Now, also we can configure this. For example, even if you have 2 or 3 or n number of suites, if you want to execute test cases in even number separately, odd number separately, or some other configuration. For example, if 1, 2, 3 are having some dependency, 1 is creating some data, 2 is using it, then 3 is using the data from 2. Like that, some dependency is there. Then there will be a Pabot file will be created. You can also configure that as well. You can put these 3 into a group and the remaining test cases into a group, any number of test cases, so that these 3 will be taken as a single group and 1 test case from that group will be executed at a time. parallelly test case from the next group will be executed. I will show you a demo in the next video so that it will be more clear for you.